Vaccin COVID-19 sa yo, c'est une solution importante pour protéger tête et puis pour mettre fin à la pandémie ça.
Mais, ou capable de question sur sécurité vaccin.
Ces mêmes mesures sécurité ont été utilisées pour tout l'autre vaccin. C'est yo tout qui ont été suivi pour vaccin COVID-19.
Il y a des dizaines de milliers de monde qui ont participé dans l'essai vaccin COVID-19 ça yo, et le résultat a prouvé que yo sain et sauf.
Depuis les sato, il y a plusieurs millions de monde, différentes races et ethnicités qui prennent vaccin. Et puis c'est un petit malaise tout petit yo te gagné.
Moi te prends vaccin pour me protéger tête moi, famille et patient yo.
Les tout pour l'arrivée, pas hésiter. Fais la médecine confiance. Prends vaccin.
It is always a great pleasure to come to you via Mosaic Public Media. My name is Jean-Claude Senon. I'm your host for today, and I have some great surprise for you also in the house. Before I tell you more about her, this program certainly welcomes a lot of politicians, activists, you name it, just about people who are doing something in the community. And some people really love to get into big trouble, and they are the ones that I'm seeking for to speak with because I think they have something to share with all of us. You are all aware that the State House of Massachusetts barely have any black persons in it. It's unfortunate. Following the course of Diana Wilkerson's, we have lost the opportunity for so many years. Then came our own, which is Linda Dawson-Afori, that you are all well aware of, served in the state. But this time somebody's about to take the challenge. Who is that person? She'll be able to tell you a bit more. Her name has been resounding within the political arena in Boston. She is very well known to some, maybe to most of you, she's not. However, you are about to meet my guest for the day, Boston City Councilor Lydia Edwards. Welcome to our program. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
All right. Well, you know, from the grapevine, everything has been told. However, before we go into more details on that, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am a Air Force brat, first and foremost. My mother was in the military and served in the Air Force for 23 years. I grew up around the world. I speak 4 languages, English, of course, Spanish, Portuguese, and German. And I have 2 law degrees, focusing, the second one was a master's in tax law. I got my JD at American University. But I would say the best things I'd love for people to know about me is I come from community organizing and working with immigrant women, particularly to pass statewide legislation, the Domestic Worker Bill of Rights. We did that in 2014. And I have been part of legal services and representing some of society's hardest working, salt of the earth, amazing people who need a good voice and a good fighter. And that's what I'm trying to be as a city councilor, and I hope to be that as well as a senator.
Very nice indeed. I must tell you, your appearance into the political arena to me was just quite a surprise because I have heard of the name, but when I heard you winning the city council race, it was just amazing because very often you may be in the realm of things and you don't know everybody. So this is just one of the words that I have always had for cautions for the voters. I didn't know this person. I haven't seen. So I think voters need to change also to find out more about their candidates and also trying to reach out to learn more about them because people are doing very important works out there, but very often it's not being showcasing anywhere so that folks will get to know. Lately, you have been endorsing a lot of individuals, and some of them have won some big races. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think the biggest race and the person I endorsed was Michelle Wu for mayor. I endorsed her very early in July, and I believe in her leadership, and I'm very excited that she ultimately won.
Very nice. which is very interesting because very often that we find politicians who are being a little bit reluctant and scared as far as taking that step, but you have taken it very early. But in return, you also get her to be your partner right now and supporting you into this race. I would say congratulations. Now, how does this come about, your decisions to run for the candidate for Senate this time around? I know everything is short notice. It's just like it was dumped into your lap and you had to pick it up and run with it, especially we have short time notice and everything else. So how did that come about?
Well, actually, this is my second time running for the seat. In 2016, I ran for the seat in law to my good friend, Joe Boncory, who just recently stepped down from the seat and therefore triggering another special election. The election date is December 14th. We are 12 days away, and I am running to be the senator. And I felt having represented East Boston and the North End and Charlestown, I've been prepared as a legislator, as a person who brings people together, I've been able to get some of the toughest fights done and taking on institutions as a city councilor. I felt that I was prepared, but I also felt that I had the base, the numbers, and support amongst the diverse coalition that speaks many languages that comes from all over the district. So it seemed that the timing kind of chose that moment, and I leaned into it.
I see. That particular district, how would you identify the demographic that you're going to be representing?
The demographics, you said?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. It's predominantly, it's Winthrop, Revere, Cambridgeport, and then several neighborhoods within Boston, including East Boston, the North End, Bay Village, one precinct in the South End, Chinatown, and Beacon Hill, and the Leather District. And so it would be, I would say, demographically a majority Caucasian district, but it has a very large Latino population. And Revere is also very diverse with 1/3. Actually, I'm sorry. I think it's a majority minority city, as is Boston, but not necessarily the part of Boston I would be representing is not really reflecting that.
All right. I know once an announcement is made, somebody is leaving office and you find a tone. Look what's going on right now already with the governor. This is going to be an interesting year, 2022. When you first heard about this, and since you said that you were already geared up because you had already given it a shot before, how is the landslide right now as far as the amount of people that will be running for this position?
For the Senate?
Yes, for the Senate.
It's just two of us. It's myself and my opponent, and it's the Democratic primary on December 14th. So whoever makes it through that will face a Republican if there is one. I doubt it. So it's pretty much done in 12 days.
In 12 days, such short notice. Were you prepared for this occasion? Because
we've been running.
I would not like to be in your shoes because 12 days to put all these things together is not the easiest thing. So
we've been running since August.
Okay.
We've been putting together a huge coalition.
Okay. Do you expect any heavy other league that will be supporting you and embarking into this race with you?
Well, we've been endorsed by both Senator Markey and Senator Warren. We've been endorsed by Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, the Attorney General of Massachusetts, Maura Healey, Sheriff Steve Tompkins, also the Registry of Deeds, Steve Murphy, Registry, the Clerk Magistrate, Superior Court, Maura Doyle, and of course many members and colleagues on the City Council, starting with Kenzie Bach, and then of course Ed Flynn, Matt O'Malley, Julia Mejia, Michael Flaherty. We've also been endorsed by the state reps in the district. My rep, Adrian Modero, Representative Aaron Michaelwitz, Representative Livingstone, Representative Marjorie Decker, just to name a few. In total, we've been endorsed by 7 senators, and 14 state reps. And then I have a representative, an elected official in every single city in the district, and there are 4 cities. So our coalition of elected officials is very high and growing. We also have been endorsed by the AFL-CIO. I am the labor candidate in this race, with several tens of thousands of members in the unions throughout the district. We feel that the coalition we have is what we need, a diverse one that represents all different kinds of people and different kinds of political viewpoints, but who ultimately know that I'm the most qualified and I am able to take on the responsibilities of this job from day one.
I'm amazed with the army that you have behind you. That is all that is left is to win the battle on the field. What is the meaning to you of all this endorsement? How do you take that?
I mean, I hope it, for many people, I hope it is one, waking up and giving some information and knowledge about this race. And then also, these are, especially with the State House individuals, I hope that they are my future colleagues. And so to have somebody in the state Senate say, we want her to come join us, I think is a powerful statement. And then in terms of labor and those endorsements, I think that is really conveying to people, I am from a working class family. I will not forget working class families. I will not forget that we need good union jobs. And that is at the core of who I am. And that's why they're standing by me.
Well, I can tell you, you're already making a very big step, a very big sacrifice, because I know it's, in terms of money, it's more lucrative to be a city councilor than it is to be a senator. So I think folks should understand that you are making a sacrifice to really represent them at a higher level than where you're at right now. So you are certainly considering the people that you are serving, and you want to remain a servant in spite of the financial gratification. So that's already a great sign from your part. And you're saying that you will, but I mean, facing the hurdle in 14 days, what is your game plan, and how do you want folks to really work with you to really help you achieve this?
We have plenty of opportunities. LydiaEdwards.org, you can sign up to help us out. And what we're asking is for folks, if you are in the district, to vote. You can vote early, starting this Saturday in person. You can also vote by mail. And throughout the district, there's early voting options and mail-in options. I also encourage people to simply help us by talking to your friends and neighbors in the district. The district, again, is Revere, Olive Winthrop, and Cambridgeport, and then several neighborhoods in Boston. And that's what I'm encouraging people to do. Please let people know about this election. We need people to turn out.
Very interesting. However, let me just give you a word of caution. Since we're talking about 14 days and we're talking about a lot of different ethnic groups within the different neighborhoods that you have just mentioned, how do you reach out to them? How do you make this really happen? How do you make the connections so that they can really be fully aware? For instance, this Saturday is coming up. It's already an early voting. And beside that, elections on the 14th, which is the primary. So when folks are not really well educated as far as civic participations, how do you push this forward so that it can really help to get there on time?
We've been on the doors since August. We've been making phone calls for months. We made tens of thousands of phone calls, and we've knocked on tens of thousands of doors. We've been meeting people. We've had meet and greets. And we have phone banks in Spanish. We have phone banks in Arabic. We have obviously phone banks in English. We have, as you mentioned, that army isn't just for show. That army has been doing the work, standouts, getting on the doors and talking to people every single day for months.
Well, I'm going to be frank with you. I know there's a hell of a lot more to be done, because we are certainly just opening the door to the Haitian community ourselves, informing them of what's going on right now. I mean, I know once I have heard the word behind the microphone that I have been on the radio stations, also on the television shows, that I did mention of what's going on. But the anticipation of time is so short. What are your plans of outreach to those who doesn't know anything at all?
We're doing everything we can to meet every single voter that is registered to vote and can vote. And our plans are the same that we've been doing. It's grassroots, it's hard work, it's doors, phone calls, and meet and greets. It's just what you do on a grassroots campaign. It's what I've done. It's how I've won before, and I'm going to stick to that.
All right, we'll make sure that we can, whatever that we can do, will help you to achieve that goal, because it is very crucial and important. Number one goal is to have you in there, and certainly representing us will be detrimental, because folks need to understand when you are not on the table, you are under the table. So when you don't have a representative around the table, it's very difficult for you to get access to what you need. Now, how different will it be between the role of you as a Senate in comparisons to the role of you as a city councilor?
Well, there's several differences. First, the amount of people you represent. I think it's at least 3 times as much. Maybe? No, 2 times as much. I represent about 70,000 people right now. And so it'll be a little over 180, I think, thousand that you represent as a senator. I have 3 neighborhoods in one city. I would have 4 cities as a senator. I think so. There's the level of what you're dealing with. I think the Senate role is predominantly more of a policy role in dealing with statewide laws, of course, that impact many different cities and many different towns at the same time. And I think there's also the budget. We're dealing with federal ARPA funds, and we're dealing with huge amounts of infrastructure into the billions of dollars. And while we have a $3 billion budget in the city of Boston, this would be a larger budget, and dealing with the financial implications for cities and towns.
All right, yeah, I'm taking this with a grain of salt because I'm looking at the time frame. And that's the thing that bothers me the most. But I'm so glad that you are making the differences between the two of them. In other words, your responsibility becomes a lot more than what you're going to be paying for. But I appreciate the fact that you are taking such a lip out of what's going on right now. And you say that you're going to have some people really supporting you into the Senate. So your entrance into the Senate will be more accurately well received, and folks that can really work with you that you already know?
I believe so. And the people who I don't know, I'm going to get to know. And I hope, and I see everybody as a potential colleague and collaborator.
Okay. Stepping in the shoes of famous women already, Diane Wilkerson and right now Linda Dawson-Afori. Have you had any contact with these two in terms of preparing you for this occasion?
Well, right now, my major contact is with the voters. If I am honored to make it through the primary and become the Democratic nominee, I will immediately call up my predecessors.
Okay. And the primary is on the 14th, so early voting is this Saturday coming up. So, assuming that you're going to win this primary, so when would it be the general elections for this?
January 11th.
January 11th. Gee whiz, time frame is so short. From the 14th to the 11th, and the holidays in between. All of that. Listen, we want to wish you all the best of luck. Whatever that we can do to help, we'll definitely be there to do that for you. It is a pleasure for me to meet with you on these occasions, although we have seen each other before in the past. But however, we want to wish you the best of luck, and please don't hesitate. Any outreaching to the Haitian community, we will certainly be there for you and trying to support you to get there. Best of luck, City Councilor Lydia Edwards.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Folks, it was a pleasure for us to have this conversation with Boston City Councilor Lydia Edwards. We were certainly maintaining a course on this and following through of what's going on throughout the campaign. And the dates are none other than early voting is the Saturday, the 14th is the primary, and January 11th is the general elections. Do your due diligence to vote the people that really will truly represent you. Thank you so much. You have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Vaccin COVID-19 sa yo, c'est une solution importante pour protéger tête tout et puis pour mettre fin à la pandémie ça.
Mais, ou capable de question sur sécurité vaccin.
Se même mesure sécurité yo te utilisé pour tout l'autre vaccin yo. Se yo tout yo te suivre pour vaccin COVID-19 yo.
Il y a des dizaines de milliers de monde qui ont participé dans l'essai vaccin COVID-19 ça yo, et le résultat a prouvé que yo sain et sauf.
Depuis les sato, il y a plusieurs millions de monde, différentes races et ethnicités qui prennent vaccin. Et puis c'est un petit malaise tout petit yo te gagné.
Moi te prends vaccin pour me protéger tête moi, famille et patient yo.
Les tout pour l'arrivée, pas hésiter. Fais la médecine confiance. Prends vaccin.